Okay, writing exponential equations. This is pretty simple and straightforward. What we have to do is we have to take our initial amount, the amount that we're giving in the beginning, multiply that by the percent that we have remaining, and raise it to the time. Now there's a couple of instances where the time's being divided by something. So let's say it's happening every 2 hours instead of every hour. And in that case, we'd need to take the amount of time and divide it by 2 because it's not going to be happening quite as often. Or maybe it's happening every 5 hours. So you take the time and divide it by 5. All right, so here's an example problem. Let's say that we have 25 plants in a yard and they are increasing at a rate of 12% per year. And we want to know how many plants we're going to have left after 8 years. All right, so basic setup. Initial amount. Well, we have 25 plants. That's our initial amount. Times. Well, percent remaining. Here's the thing. Every time you start with a problem, you start with 100% of your amount. Okay? We are increasing, so that means we need to be adding, and then we're going to add 12%. So that means we have 112% remaining after 1 year. Now, if this was a decreasing problem, that means we would need to subtract right here. So it's adding, so we would put 112%. Percent means per 100, which means we need to divide by 100. Well, the shorthand way of doing that is simply to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So every time when you're changing a problem from percent to decimal, 2 places to the left. Okay, so the decimals here, we go 1, 2. It's 1.12. And then our time is always a variable, so that's just going to be x. So that's our generic setup. Now this wants to know what's happening in 8 years. So 25 times 1.12 raised to the 8. Please make sure you type it in as you see it. Make sure that the exponent is in parentheses, otherwise you're going to mess this up. And you should come out to 61.899 plants, or just 61.9 plants, which 61.9 doesn't make sense. So we have 61 plants, and we would round down in this case because we're not quite to 62 plants. Okay, we have 61.9, but that is not 62 plants, that is only 61 plants. So after 8 years in this garden, there would be 61 plants, and we only started out with 25. So that's how you do your basic percent problems. Now, there's a few more percent problems that get a little bit more complicated, and we'll discuss those in the next video.